Look at that. Do I want to go through the extra work to try them? No, I can't be sharing stuff I don't know. Good morning. Welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. But today we are in the germination station because, baby, it's like 20-some degrees outside. The cold weather is here. Y'all know I always tell y'all that January and February are our coldest months. Right now, well, we're at 30, but our low last night was 24 degrees. Our high today is 43. Tomorrow, 35. We got snow in the forecast for Saturday. It's cold, y'all. So what I wanted to do today is we have started all of these seeds together in the Spring Me Please series. We have started so many seeds. It makes sense to show you the seeds that we have started, show you the growth that we have down in the germination station. Also, I did a short yesterday. It was a reel that I just cross-posted across all of the social medias. So I wanted to show you the seed growth, also kind of explain my seed starting station, which is not a lot. Like, my seed starting station is very basic. These are the same lights and clamp lights that I have had since I started gardening. When I started, I wanted to start as cheap as I possibly could. For one, because I am a serial hobbyist, right? And so I didn't know if I was gonna stick with gardening. So 6 years later, I am still here. I am still loving it. My whole backyard at this point is a garden. I was very excited to get started, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money, right? And these have been working for, okay, 5 years. I've had lights because I was not starting seeds when I first started gardening in 2020. I was going to the big box store and I was buying starts, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that is how you want to start your garden, I say go for it, as long as you are growing. I always say that. And shoot, right now, like, let's say I didn't start enough of a plant or I have spaces left, I still will go predominantly at this point to my local feed and seed because they are cheaper. But going to the big box store, if that's the only thing you have, is fine. Tractor Supply, Home Depot, Lowe's, I say go for it because you will be growing your own food, and that is the whole point of this. So I wanted to show you what's going on in the germination station. I also got a comment and I could not get back to it. I don't know what video it was on. I saw it pop up and the person said the back of the seed packet shows a map and it shows you the colors and the months. And they said, why are we starting seeds now? Let me go get a seed packet real quick. Okay, I'm back. Also, I'm sorry about, like, I'm sure this doesn't look the best because I'm standing in front of these lights, but it's a part of the video today. So if I turn the lights off, it wouldn't make no sense. Anyway, this is the map that you see on the back of seed packets. So it tells you the month. These are your frost-free months where you can put it out into the garden. But we start seeds early, a lot of us. Some gardeners do direct sowing. I personally don't, just because I'm not the best at keeping the soil moist. And in order for your seeds to germinate, they have to be moist. And you have to keep basically the top, like, few inches moist. So I don't start from seed outside often. Like, I rarely start from seed outside. So we're starting them early so that they can already have some growth, already be established, like have a nice root system, so that when we do put them outside and it is frost free, they can start growing, but they will already have some stability to them, if that makes sense. So their roots just have to take in the soil that we put them in because they already have roots. So it's basically just giving them a jump start. You can absolutely start from seed, put the seeds outside, but you can potentially get your harvest sooner by starting them early. And so that's why we're starting early. That's it. I could not find your comment. I hope that you're watching. And if you are not and someone else was wondering, that is why. These are the months where you will be frost free. This is just giving the plant a jump start. So let us take a look at what we have down here. Okay, so, oh, 1 second. I remembered that I still had the boxes from the lights down here because the old lights that are 1600 lumen are in here. I did not throw them away because when these lights start going out, we putting the 1600 lumen back in until we are like completely out of light bulbs. Anyway, these are the lumens that's on a lot of my light bulbs. So 2610. I got these light bulbs from Walmart. Everything up here as far as the lights go came from Walmart. So the clamp lights came from Walmart. These also came from Walmart. Finally, I have told y'all the actual lumen and showed it to you. I will link it below if I can find it. But 1600 lumen worked also. I think that the 2610 lumens work better. So, all right, let's get into this, y'all. Let's get into this. Another thing I'm going to talk about today is how I'm caring for these seedlings. Now, I did it over the weekend and I did not record it. I probably should, but I didn't. And the next time I do it, I will make sure that I record it, right? So essentially, every week I will fertilize these plants with this Fox Farm. This is Big Bloom by Fox Farm. I put a tablespoon into a gallon of water. I kept a tea jug that we had some tea in, and that's how I do it. One jug will do all of the plants that I have right now, and we have some left over. So once I fertilized what was left over, I just went out this door right here and poured it into the top of a green stalk. So now I'm also slightly fertilizing a green stalk because the fertilizer is greatly diluted. That is what I do to take care of them. I will also show you how I up pot, because we do have some that need up potting. But right now, let's just look at how well the seedlings are doing right now. So we're gonna go from the oldest to the newest. So these are our spring seedlings, some of them. So this is pretty much broccoli right here. These are broccoli rabe, and the rest is broccoli. And they're doing really well. We planted these together and we also potted these up together. They are at this point in the 3.3 trays from Bootstrap Farmer. And this is where they will live until we put them out in the garden in mid-February. I'm not seeing any roots coming out of here, so I do think we're gonna be fine to leave them in these pots. Bootstrap Farmer does have bigger pots. I think they're 5-inch. I don't think I'm gonna need to use those. But yeah, those are the spring seedlings so far. And we have really good leaves on them. I'm not seeing any aphids on these. I'm gonna show y'all, we still have aphids somehow. But anyway, I'm not seeing any aphids on these, and they're growing really, really nicely. And I showed you in the short yesterday that once they get that tall, I no longer hang the lights from the top. I put them basically beside them just so that the plant is not touching the lights. And these are LED lights. And I have seen where people say that LED lights don't give off heat. My LED lights from Walmart do give off heat. It's not a lot, but I can definitely feel that there's heat coming off of those bulbs. So keep that in mind. Another thing I did last year, just like down here playing around trying to see, is I put Reynolds wrap. That's all this is Reynolds wrap. And I taped it to my shelf. That's just hopefully helping some of the light to reflect down onto the plants. And then they'll get a little more light, considering once they get tall, I can't hang them over top anymore. And it seems to be working, but I also did that without the Reynolds wrap. However, I do feel like my plants with the newer light bulbs and adding the Reynolds wrap, they are much more stalky instead of long. Now, they are still a bit skinny, but they are healthy, y'all. So that's our first group of seedlings I wanted to show you. And so when I want to take these down, I do unclamp the lights just to be safe that we are not going to knock anything over or break any leaves. So this is the next group of spring seedlings we started. I believe these are Brussels sprouts and broccoli as well. And they're looking really, really good. Also been put in the 3-inch pots. Now this one we do see roots. So this is a Brussels sprout. We're starting to see roots. It's not enough roots for me to think I need to pot up. Also, we all know potting up is not my favorite thing to do. I do love gardening, but there are things in gardening that's just not my favorite to do. And if I can avoid it, I will. Potting up is one of those things. But anyway, I think these will be fine. And at the beginning of February, as long as we are not like super cold, like we're not in the teens and stuff, these are gonna go outside into some greenhouse. If you're not new here, you know I have a black and clear greenhouse that I really need to fix, and that's where my seedlings were supposed to go. I haven't gotten that fixed, and now we are into like super cold temperatures. So it'll go into some greenhouse. Maybe the Bootstrap Farmer greenhouse, and I put it in the walkways. I'm really not sure. But yes, February 1st, these are gonna go outside as long as the weather is working with us. So y'all, seedlings are doing good. So those are the ones that we started for spring. I'm gonna slide those back in there, put our light back, and Oh goodness, let me show you these onions, y'all. They look absolutely amazing. Look at that. I am so excited. I have started onion seeds before. They have never looked this good. I am super excited. I have cut them already. I'm probably gonna do one more cut before they go outside in February, but let me show you. Look at them. So these are leeks. These are leeks and these are leeks. And if you remember, I'm doing a leek and potato soup green stalk. So that's what these leeks are for. And I also started more leeks just because I want a good amount of them. And I did cut those as well. But these are onions, y'all. They are looking so good. And they are in the 4 cell trays. You can see a little bit of the roots coming out. Oh, this also has some candy cane onions in it. So the front is leeks and then the candy cane are on the side. And I just put a piece of tape because I was running out of labels. The onions look really good. And to everyone who told me to cut my onions that's out in the green stalks, thank you. Thank you so much. Because I have learned that that really does help. I do have a fan and I should have a fan up, but I haven't put the fan up yet. That's just to help the plants, you know, kind of get more stable. So it's kind of like being outside when the wind would be blowing, but I haven't put the fan up yet. But they're doing really good. I'm super excited. I am pretty sure we are going to do a spring green stalk of onions. So that way I will have tried to overwinter some onions, and then I will also have a spring planting of onions, and I will be able to see which one is better for me in my area. But I think these are the starts that I'm most excited about. Like if you look down in there, you can see like they're stable, they're strong, and I absolutely love that for me. And that's also why I started them so early. When you buy starts from a store or offline, when they get to you, they are like, they have a little bulk to them, right? And that's why I started them so early, because I wanted mine to have some bulk to them. The ones we planted in fall were very thin, and I was trying to avoid that this year. Although they have bounced back, they're looking good outside, but I wanted to try to get them a little more bulky, and that's why I started them so early. I feel like I told y'all that when I started them, but I honestly don't know. And so the next group, I'm not sure that we started these together, but maybe we did. Okay, we did. We did some of them together, some of them we didn't. But we have calendula here. But I wanted to show you the difference between removing the humidity dome in time, these are calendula, and not removing the humidity dome in time. So I can replant these and plant them deeper, but that's the difference. This is what you call a leggy seedling. These are not leggy seedlings. Right here we have some Catarina cabbage. It looks really good. Pretty sure it's time to pot these up. We'll probably do them on camera. So you can see some of the roots coming out, but this is what I like about the Bootstrap Farmer trays. I keep telling y'all that these roots are not circling in the container. So anywho, we have some more leeks right here. I told you I started more leeks. I think these are leeks too. Might have overstarted those leeks. We started some chives. I don't know if the seeds were old. I can't remember which seeds I used, but they have not come up yet. But I'm just gonna leave this because for one, these are still in there and growing, and for two, I still have space, so they can stay. We have some more Zabrone shallots right here. Those are coming up. These Swiss chard are pretty leggy, and I will tell you, they were a part of the seeds that came up when these calendula came up, and I did not take the humidity dome off. We also have dill. Don't think we planted these together. Oh, the calendula. If you remember, we started calendula and we put the tray outside. The oregano and thyme still out there, letting those grow a little bit more. But these are, I said calendula, this is chamomile that was outside. So soon I'm going to be potting these up into their own cells because there is a good amount of plants in here, but not too many. I did not oversow. Happy about that. The shishito peppers, we did not plant these together. I think that we started these sometime in December. So they're looking good. Now, I don't know how close I can get and how good y'all will be able to see, but there's an aphid on there. And so I've been coming down here and getting the aphids off. I don't know where they're coming from. I did not put any kind of nitrogen in here. Well, I didn't put any heavy nitrogen fertilizer in here, but I still got aphids. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have a few more snapdragons popping up. They're very small. This is also a seed that needs to be surface sown. But I'll show you some other snapdragons that have already come up as well, and I will show you they look so much better. And not really better. They just had more time to grow. So that's where we are with the seeds that we started most recent. So let me grab the last tray that's growing right now, and then we're gonna pot some seedlings up. All right, these are the last ones. So these are the other snapdragons. I don't normally cut the tops of my snapdragons off, but I am gonna give it a try with one of these trays. They say if you take the top off, it will start to get more bushy instead of going straight up. And I would love for these plants to be more bushy because that means they'll have more branches. More branches mean I could get more flowers. So these are the snapdragons. They are so pretty, y'all. If you've never grown snapdragons, give that a try. Over here we have some more candy hybrid onions. I want onions everywhere this year. And these are bunching onions. I don't know how old the seeds were, but we didn't get a good germination on these just yet. Back here we have celery that's starting to come up. Celery is another surface sower. You don't need to put it down in the soil, but we got a good amount of that coming up now. That's going into the leek and potato soup green stalk. We have cilantro right here, and I'm just waiting. These will go out in February too. Cilantro likes cooler temperatures, and it will bulk quickly in the heat. Right here, the dahlias that we recently started, they are coming up. Pretty excited about that. Back here, we did not do these together. Someone sent me saffron bulbs, and I was like, that's so cool. Then I went and looked, and it said you're supposed to plant them in fall. I've never grown saffron. So what I'm doing is I am trying to get them to grow inside because I honestly did not know what to do with them as it related to like keeping the bulbs alive and making sure they did not die. So I said, I'm just gonna plant them. And then I did see I can plant them in spring, but of course they won't start to give me a harvest until fall, which is fine. I just didn't want them to go bad. Saffron is a very expensive herb or seasoning. I've never really used it like in my own cooking, but I would love to. So anyway, I put those in there. I'm gonna follow them and I'm gonna pay attention to them because I really do want to grow saffron. Do you grow saffron in your garden? Let me know. So that's everything that's growing right now that has germinated and that we are keeping alive until mid-February, and some things until sometime in May, because that is when I plan to plant out for the summer garden. The other thing is I did not go back and get any mushrooms. If you remember, I told you the mushrooms, we lost track of that when life started happening. So right now, anything that hasn't germinated, I have over here, because in the beginning, the only thing your seeds need is moisture and warmth. And so if it has not germinated, it's over here. So that's pretty much all of my peppers are over here. My eggplants are over here. My asters that we planted are over here. I started some more snapdragons. The tomatillos still haven't come up, which we just gonna leave it because last year the tomatillos took forever and then they just started popping up. So we're leaving it. We had some old tarragon seeds, so I put that over here as well. That probably could go outside. Honestly, it probably was outside. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Over the weekend, I planted some lettuce because I realized I hadn't started any lettuce. I would like this to go out in February when I do the spring garden. And then guess what, y'all? I hope y'all can see it. Y'all see that? Those are the ranunculus. They are starting to pop up. I am super excited. This whole thing is ranunculus. I will say I should probably put the fan in here because you can see there's a little bit of mold on the top. So I'm guessing it's not a lot of airflow because it's inside of the greenhouse. So I may put the fan over there. But yeah. We also have seeds going in there. So in summer, I'm positive I'm gonna have to at least use this third row. And when I do, I'll just get the light set up on the third row. And then I will be using both of these at one time to power the lights on these shelves. I mentioned in my short that I live in an older house. I only have one plug down here. I use the all powers generators to power the rest of the shelves. Now we are gonna move up into the kitchen because we're gonna pot up some seedlings real quick. That's the light for downstairs. We're gonna pot up some seedlings real quick. And then I'm gonna bid y'all goodbye until Wednesday. Let's pot up some seedlings. So the smaller ones are the ones that we really need to look into potting up. We're going to pot up the cabbage into the for sale. And somebody said that my hands must be very small because they ordered these and they were small. I don't know. I feel like I have average size hands, but that they do fit into my hand, just so you see. All right, let's get to it, y'all. In case you're new here, this year I'm using Fox Farm Happy Frog to start seedlings and to pot them up. No, you do not need this soil. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in my area, that soil is quite expensive if you ask me. It was $30 for that bag. And I mentioned in another video that a lot of the options that are being given to me, I don't have them in my area. So that's what I'm using. But I have also used like a Miracle Grow Organic. That is what I was using. And I really actually liked it, and they discontinued it. But if you want to start seeds, you can also use seed starting mix. It is a very fluffy, light, loamy mix. And I personally found that it dries out quicker. So that's why I moved to potting soil, and then you can use potting soil. And so I have been using potting soil for a while now. I don't think that I'll ever go back to the seed starting mix, but it is something that you can use. So I'm gonna fill these up, and then I'm gonna come back to y'all. Okay, so we're back. I decided the chamomile, I was looking at the roots. They can stay in the 6-cell tray for a little bit longer. Chamomile is a herb that grows slightly slow, and so I'm just gonna leave those, but we are going to up pot this Swiss chard so we can get some of this legginess gone. I'm not gonna worry about those 2 calendula that are leggy. Have a lot of calendula, and I will still plant it out and see what happens. It's fine, y'all. We are gonna pot up this cabbage because you can see the roots are coming out of there. We are gonna put 2 Swiss chard into the 4-cell trays. I'm pretty sure that they can survive in there until February. So that's what we are about to do. And potting up is not a big deal. It's just something, like I said, I don't really enjoy. But what I will tell you is this year, I planted 1 seed into each cell tray. This is Katarina from Haas. Those had really good germination. So if you haven't heard of Haas, I am sure Salty Dog Homestead has a link with a discount. I don't have one. So maybe if you want to try Haas, you can go over to Salty Dog Homestead, use his link, because I mean, that's a really good germination. I put 1 seed into each cell tray. Every last one of them came up. So these are the things that I do while I cannot be outside. I get my seeds started for the next season. I am in Virginia, zone 7B. And so we have people call it mild. I call it cold winters, but not nearly as cold as other people in other places. With this, I have made a pretty deep hole in that soil. And now I'm just gonna tease these out essentially. There's a hole at the bottom, and you just can slide it right out. Just like that. Look at that root system, y'all. Looks real good. And then I'm just gonna drop it in here at the same level it was in the soil. Now, brassicas, you can plant them deeper. My seedlings look pretty good, so I'm not going to worry about doing that. Planting them deeper can help their stems to be a bit more sturdy, but I don't need to do that because these seedlings look really good already. That's what we are going to do with this Katarina cabbage. And then that frees up a 6-cell tray for us, because every 2 weeks at this point, we are starting more seeds. Look how that comes out. Nice. And we just drop it right back down in here. Just make sure you loosen up the soil with the container before you pull it out, especially if you plan to pull it out the way I just did, because you don't want to break your seedling. And we just gonna keep that going. And then I'm gonna show y'all how you can save leggy seedlings if your seedlings come up leggy. Now, the thing about it is you can plant your seedlings deeper if they are leggy, and you can save them. But you still have to have enough light for them to not have to reach for light, because leggy seedlings can come from too much humidity. It also can happen if you have a lack of light. So keep that in mind if you are wanting to start seeds. And the lights I have aren't the only lights that you can use. There are so many more lights. If you go on Amazon, search grow lights, there's a lot of grow lights out there. Those are just the lights that I chose, and because they've been working, I don't see a reason to change them. And I have been contacted several times by companies like saying, do you want to try our lights? And do I want to? Maybe. Do I want to go through the extra work to try them? No. And my lights are working, so I don't try them. And if I had space to have like more than one setup so that I could show you all the difference, I would. but I don't really have space to set up more than one germination shelf. What kind of lights do you use? Drop it down in the comments for somebody who maybe is like, I don't want all those clamp lights in my house, or I would rather just have one light that's gonna do all of my seedlings. What do you use to start your seedlings and to keep them growing healthy? It's good information to share. I just don't have any experience with it, so I can't be sharing stuff I don't know. Look at that, y'all. Real good root systems. Like, nice. And I can't remember how long ago I started these because I don't think we started these together. They're looking real good. And after I put these in here, I'm gonna water from the bottom to make sure that the seedlings have moisture. That's a good thing to do when you up pot, for one. When you up pot and for when you plant out. That's gonna help with any of the bubbles that's in the soil where there is no connection to like the roots in the soil that you put them in. So that's a good thing to do. It is necessary, honestly. I'm saying good, but it is necessary. All right. So all of the Catarina cabbage is potted up. Catarina cabbage has a very short days to maturity. I think like 40 some days. So it makes it a perfect spring variety for me. I'm not great at growing cabbage, but I keep trying. But it makes it a good spring variety for me because in our area, we go from spring to summer very quickly, even when we're still in the spring months. All right, so these are our Swiss chard and they are very leggy. So we're gonna pull it out and then we're gonna separate them. See, I broke one. It's okay, we have a lot. They also don't have a large root system, so I'm gonna pull these apart and just plant them deeper into this 4-cell tray. I'm also gonna take these gloves off. If my nails get messed up, it's fine because I can't do this with these gloves on. Like I said, I broke one. This one I broke, it's okay. We are going to just grab the two that's not broken. And you can do this too, like if you plant more than one seedling in a cell. So I'm just teasing it apart. So now we have both of their root systems and their long stems. And I just grabbed a pen so that I can make sure I can make it really deep. And so I'm just making a really deep hole in here and I'm gonna drop it down in here. All the way down. And this plant doesn't have to be straight up and down as long as the roots are under the soil. And this, I like to do it earlier, but I didn't get to it earlier. All right. And honestly, when I was like over sowing, I did this very early in the process, but I was trying to avoid this, which is why I didn't oversow. So now we're gonna push it down, but that's what we're gonna do. And I'm pretty sure they will be able to survive in here until we plant in February. And again, if you decide to do this, just make sure you do not water your plants too much. The soil being super moist will rot the stems of these plants because they're already so skinny. But we will do an update on these too so you can see that this does work if you have leggy seedlings. So we're just gonna get all of the soil, well not all, we're gonna get most of the soil off so that we can separate these. And then we're just gonna drop them down in there. My mother wants Swiss chard. If you remember, my mother wanted Swiss chard for the fall and then she decided she didn't want to do a fall garden. So I'm keeping all of this Swiss chard. Some of it is for her. Swiss chard can grow through the summer, winter, fall. Pretty hardy to all temperatures. Might not taste the best in the heat, or it might not taste as good in the heat, but it can grow. So that is my seed starting station. That is an update on the seeds that we have started, and I wanted you to see how well they're growing, and that is me up potting things. And so I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all. So that when we do put them outside on our